Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Moore, and I want to talk with you about stress and how stress is having an effect on your body. And this is no small subject, so let's get into it. There's three types of stress that we come across throughout our life. There's physiological stressors, the chemical stressors. There's physical stressors. There's psychological stressors. Physiological stressors are something's going wrong with your body. Maybe there's a toxicity problem. Maybe you're eating garbage food. Maybe the standard American diet just isn't working out for you because you're not getting the nutrition you need. Or you just live in Michigan, in this area that we live in, our practices in, and there is a lot of toxicity from all the manufacturing that's been going on in through here. Maybe you have anemia. Anemia means you're not getting enough oxygen in your blood. Maybe you have sugar dysregulation in the form of diabetes or hypoglycemia. Your brain consumes 30% of all the oxygen and all the sugar in your body. That's why when you sleep at night, your brain always wants that oxygen. So that's why you keep on breathing, because your body needs that. And your heart pumps blood to your brain, and your blood should have the right amount of sugar in there. If there's a problem with the amount of sugar, that dysregulation, that screws up your brain, that screws up your nervous system, that stresses out your body. That's a physiological stress. There's autoimmune disease. There's all kinds of other problems. If you have a fake hip, you've had surgery, any scar tissue that you have, that is a physiological stress on your brain because it is not normal tissue. Well, if you're taking medication to lower or change values on a chart, that medication has side effects. That is a physiological stress on your body, on your brain, on your nervous system. Don't think it's not. And if you're diabetic and you're taking medication, your sugar might be controlled with metformin, but you're still a diabetic. And when you're no longer a diabetic taking medication, then your sugar is regulated. So let's go on to physical stressors. Physical stressors are if you walked outside and you got hit by a truck on the street or hit by a car, you fell out of a tree as a kid, maybe you had a concussion, maybe you've had a car accident a long time ago and the car got damaged and you walked away and you said, "Oh, I'm okay." And MRI said nothing's wrong, you didn't break anything, but your brain got slopped around in through there. Maybe just last week, this is what I heard in the office. Somebody walked into a wall, hit it with their chest. Somebody fell over their dog. Somebody went up the steps and thought there was an extra step and jammed their whole body together. Somebody fell out of a chair, hit their head on a car. This is just what I've heard this week. And so if you do stupid stuff like I do, you're going to traumatize your body, those physical stresses. And that's what wears down the joint. And then there's psychological stresses. Psychological stresses of being unhappy, being stressed out all the time, thinking about the problems of the world, losing faith in God, losing faith in yourself, feeling terrible as a person, being in a bad relationship, stressing about COVID, stressing about politics, stressing about your exams, stressing about your kid, stressing about your work, stressing out. Those psychological factors. Physiological stress, chemical stress, physical stress, emotional stress, they cause your body to increase cortisol levels. That's your stress hormone. It's your fight or flight hormone. It is great when a tiger's chasing you. Tiger runs in the room. Oh my gosh, that's obviously a stress. Your cortisol level goes up. And what that does is it gets more sugar into your blood. So your brain can consume more sugar. But it also shuts down vital areas of your body. It shuts down the healing part of your body. So constant increase in cortisol from constant stress is very bad for your body. And then stress also increases interleukin-6, also known as IL-6, and you get something called a cytokine storm. And this increases inflammation throughout your whole body. They're linking this to rheumatoid arthritis because it swells up the joint. It causes your immune system to not act in a balanced state. So your immune system goes crazy or it doesn't do much. but it dysregulates the immune system. It affects the immune system in a negative way. It will actually cause your nerves that are in charge of pain to feel more pain that's not there. So now you're more pain sensitive because you're all stressed out, physically, physiologically, chemically, or emotionally. And what happens is this cytokine storm crosses the blood-brain barrier and goes to your brain. And the big problem is it causes brain atrophy. Now, this might not be measured on an MRI because an MRI is not absolutely specific. It is specific to a certain degree. So brain atrophy happens. And what happens is this speeds up. It accelerates all, ALL, neurodegenerative conditions. So if you have a neurodegenerative condition, MS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, Parkinson's, dementia, Alzheimer's, when you have stress, that accelerates it. And you may have, and let me touch on the MRI for a second. You may see an MRI, you may go through all the tests and your doctor says you're normal. If you're not working good, you're not normal. Even though the tests show you're normal, if you're not working good, that is a dysfunction. That's not normal. And so let's go on. And so as we lose this, we breach the blood-brain barrier, we get something called leaky brain. So this barrier allows things in and out that aren't supposed to get there. And that toxifies your brain. That causes brain inflammation, which is the second thing, neuroinflammation and neuroautoimmune disease. So you start to break down the brain tissue. When you have inflammation in your brain, microglial cells go to work. For instance, somebody gets a concussion. Within 4 to 6 hours of that concussion, where your brain goes slippity-sloppity inside your head, you fall down. That's a concussion, even a minor one. That inflammation stimulates microglial cells in your body. Now, those are great because they're like SEAL Team 6, but they don't shut off very well, and that causes more inflammation. And that will aggravate a lot of nerves. It'll cause demyelination of some nerves and aggravate some nerves. So now we're talking about how your brain talks to your gut through the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is a highly myelinated nerve, and if you watch our leaky gut video, I'm going to go into this in greater detail. But the microglial cells upset the vagus nerve, and so now your gut, the endothelial cell layer of your gut, the protective mechanism between your food and your blood, that gets leaky, and that gets permeable. So big food stuffs, instead of small food particles get through, big food particles get through, big things get through. So now you have food allergies. You have stressed out, now you're chemically toxic, your body doesn't like it, your immune system fires up, you get more inflammation. See where I'm going here? And you get leaky gut. That inflammation in your gut secretes something called lipopolysaccharides, which messes up the way the vagus nerve and your gut talk to your brain through the medulla and across the blood-brain barrier, messes up your thalamus, and that screws up something called the central autonomic network. This is your humanity. This is how you see the environment. This is how you're aware of the tiger. This is the response that you have to what you do. This is your moods. This is your autonomic response, automatic responses to what's going on in your world, how you handle stress, how your body handles stress. So as your brain atrophies, you break down the central autonomic nervous system, you break down your prefrontal cortex with this inflammation, with this autoimmune disease. Your prefrontal cortex is who you are as a human being. This is what we call your face, your focus, your attention, your concentration, your executive decisions, your ability to make decisions, your personality, your motivation. Are you wiped out at the end of the day? Do you just go, oh, I am so done at the end of the day? That's your brain breaking down. And then your ability to inhibit things. Inhibiting something called the amygdala. Your amygdala is in charge of fear, worry, anxiety. And so if you're constantly afraid, constantly worried about stuff, you're not shutting down irrational fears. Yes, you should be afraid when the tiger walks in the room, but when the tiger's gone, you should no longer be afraid. You should inhibit that. But when your brain breaks down, you can't do that. a problem with cortisol. Cortisol will actually speed up the degeneration of the hippocampus. Your hippocampus is what's in charge of short-term memory and learning. You need to remember where things are at. You need to remember the tiger, remember this situation, that situation. If you can't do that, then your amygdala is not regulated and you're afraid of everything. You're afraid to try new things. You're afraid of who you are. You're losing faith. And so this is what stress does to your body. It makes life worse, it makes you more painful. It degenerates your body. So people will say, Dr. Moore, yeah, I got stress. Everybody's got stress. So what? Stress is variable. Then there's certain degrees. You get hit by a truck, that is a lot of physical stress. You constantly eat the standard American diet of garbage food, that's stress too. You're stressing out about your life, you're not trying to do things to improve yourself, that's going to stress you out. But picture this. Picture a pin prick in a tire on your car. That's all it is. Some of them are stress, some are pin pricks, some of them are nails, some of them are tack nails. But you put in every day that little pin prick in that tire. And you got this one, you got two, you got 1,000 pin pricks. And then what happens, it weakens your whole system. It weakens who you are as a human being. It weakens your body's ability to adapt. You have more physiological dysfunction. Add in some physical and some psychological stress, and this whole process goes on and on. So instead of just adding a little, pinprick to that tire, now you're adding in a nail because you can't handle that stress. And so people blow off things. They think, I'll deal with this later. Yeah, I'm not happy. I can deal with that now, and later on I'll be happy. Well, this not being happy now, not doing positive things to negate this, to control that, to be smart about this, to improve the health of your body, not avoiding that stuff right now, you're going to pay later. Because as you go down this slope, if you haven't ever driven a car before, as you go downhill, the car gets faster. The symptoms get faster. So stress becomes even worse. And I see it every day in people that have retired. They work their butt off. They overstressed their body. They overdid it. And now in the prime of their life, when they have the freedom to do whatever they want, they have so many restrictions physically and emotionally. And I see that all the time in the office. There are options. We have options. We work with counselors for people with psychological issues. We work with other doctors. We work with naturopaths, homeopaths to help balance out some of the physiological stresses. We teach people how to handle physical stresses, proper form, proper technique. Stuff's going to happen. But if you are taking control of your life, if you understand what's going on, and you take control of your life, you take active control, you will enjoy your body more. You will enjoy your life more, because that's what this is all about. So look for further videos on how we handle each one of these issues. We're going to break it all down for you. I want to thank you for watching this. Please like us on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. You might have to watch this several times. You might have to watch the leaky gut video. We're going to break down brain videos. We're going to do all kinds of stuff, because I know this. The more you understand, the more you can take charge of your health, because nobody cares more about your body than you do. So God bless you. You're going to be okay, because you watched this video. You're trying to make a positive choice. You're moving forward in a better direction. So you're doing good. So be proud of yourself. There's a little psychological unstressor. God bless you. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Call our office 810-225-7246 to meet with me or talk with me. Set up we can talk and we can answer your questions. We're here to help you. God bless you. Have an awesome day.